have to go to sleep. You can lie down, though.
I've given up on trying to get them to sleep in their own bed.
Do you want to go in with Daddy, too?
The last time me and my wife slept alone in our room was probably a year ago.
All right.
Do you want me sleeping next to you every night alone?
I don't care.
She don't care.
Oh, dear. I'm tired of the constant fighting because we can't get things under control.
Put them away, make your bed. We have a 13-year-old that is going down the wrong path. Clean up your room. Physically and mentally, I mean, I'm ready for a breakdown. Supernanny, we need your help.
More than we could imagine.
Mum, don't worry, because we will set it right. And I promise you, Dad, you'll get the rest you need. I'm almost there. 8:45, and the twins' bedtime act was about to begin. And yes, Mum and Dad didn't even attempt to put the twins in their beds. Seriously, I knew exactly where this was going, and I thought I might as well leave for the evening now. I've seen enough. I am extremely looking forward to seeing you tomorrow.
Okay.
Because we do need a family meeting.
Okay.
There's much to be resolved here.
Okay. I am worried about what Jill will say during our first meeting.
I will see you tomorrow.
Okay. Good night.
For the first night in their new beds, Dad would be reading them stories and Mum would be in charge of making sure that they got down for the night. You are going to sit in the middle of the two beds
Okay.
on the floor.
Okay.
When they come out of their beds, I want you to just to turn around and say to them, it's bedtime.
Okay.
Okay? And place them back into their beds. The next time they come out of their beds, I want you to say nothing. Just place them back into their beds.
Okay.
Let's do it.
Okay.
And trouble started as soon as Dad started to get ready to leave the room.
Night-night. I'll see you in the morning. Okay? Hey. I'll see you in the morning.
I love you.
Good night.
Mum sat on the floor in the bedroom and I sat nearby so I could coach her.
No, not out of the bed. Lie down.
You're talking, no talking. Okay. Just resume position.
Okay. In the bed. As a mom, you want to comfort them. So it was really, really hard not to turn around when they were crying and say, you know, Mommy's right here, you're going to be fine.
And then when Lily got out of bed, Luke saw this opportunity to leg it out the room. Luke finally settled and went off to sleep. But Lily, she was wide awake.
It seems like when you're sitting there that it's never going to end, but it did.
90 minutes later, both kids were asleep and Mum was finished. Well done. Well done.
Thank you.
You really held on in there.
Bedtime is our biggest struggle. I stay in the room with them until they fall asleep.
Jonathan has a smaller toddler bed, so I'll lay on the floor. I'll hold hands with him just to make sure he goes to sleep.
Are you kidding me?
Both boys at different times of the night will wake up and come into our bed. They sprawl out all over the bed.
I'm usually backed into a corner or there's a foot in my face.
I honestly haven't slept in 4 years and I'm exhausted.
Supernanny, we need your help.
Finally, these parents have said something with authority. Hey, Cabby, you couldn't step on it, could you? A family needs my help right now.
Come on, don't give me a hard time.
It was almost 8 o'clock, which is time for the boys to go to bed. However, these kids are fearful of being separated from their parents.
Come on, stop.
Once Dad dragged Ryan into the bedroom, things started to calm down.
We try to read to them in bed, and then Ryan will bide for Fancy's attention and tell, say, Mommy, sleep with me. And I'll try to hold Jonathan's hand so he stays calm.
Dad did get up when he thought that Jonathan had fallen asleep, but that was wishful thinking.
This is what we're gonna do.
What
are you doing?
Easy. Come with me.
Almost 45 minutes later, nobody was going to sleep. In fact, these boys thought it was time for midnight feasting, with Mum and Dad's approval. So what is this? This is the snack before the bed, or the...
This is like a little snack. Usually, I don't know what this is.
Finally, the boys were in their bed, with Mum and Dad right next to them. Jonathan fell asleep, which meant that Dad could get up, but Mum was still there. Because these kids are fearful of being separated from their parents, it's meant that bedtime has been like a circus for this family, so I need to deal with it head on. We're going to do the sleep separation technique. Their beds are set up like this.
Mm-hmm.
What I want the pair of you to do is to be facing this way. You're looking away from them and you're at an angle. There will be no talking. Okay, there will be no conversations had whatsoever. This technique gives the child reassurance that you're around without having to be in their bed, but they're initiating sleep by themselves. And in case the kids got up in the middle of the night, what I did was to give Mum and Dad the second technique called the stay in bed technique. You're going to take your child by the hand, tuck him into bed and say, "It's bedtime, darling." If they get up a second time, you'll say to them, "It's bedtime." And if the third time they get up and try and come back into your bed, you'll say nothing. I then gave Mum and Dad some earpieces so they could hear my instructions clearly on my walkie-talkie. And then I set up camp in the living room with my monitor.
I love you so much.
Okay, guys, let's turn the lights off.
I didn't know how the kids were gonna handle it, how I was gonna handle it.
I don't like sleeping in my own bed.
You know, it's been close to 5 years that this has been going on, so it's it's in their brain.
Jonathan fell asleep pretty quickly, so I got Dad straight out of there. But that's when the fireworks began. Aside from everything else, Mum was just worried that the screaming was going to wake up Jonathan, and then there would be two kids screaming.
I want to go in your room.
The worst part was that I couldn't talk to him.
Mommy, I want to tell you something. Mommy, I want to tell you.
I felt really bad that I couldn't communicate to him why this was happening, why I was doing this.
As you know now, he's desperate for the communication, but he needs to learn this is nighttime, and nighttime means no conversation. It means bedtime.
Oh, Mommy, Mommy. Give me a kiss, Mommy. I want to hold your hand.
So you're doing real good.
If Joe was not talking to me in the earpiece, I would have definitely crashed. I wouldn't have made it through.
If he's fully asleep, you might as well come out.
After 90 minutes, both boys were asleep. But inevitably, they were going to wake up in the middle of the night like they've done for years.
So tonight, when you retire off to bed, when the kids do come in, what you're going to do is to adopt the stay in bed technique.
Basically, we just hold their hands, walk them right into bed and say, "Good night, darling." And that's it. Second time, good night. Third time, nothing.
Yep.
Shortly after midnight, Dad got a chance to do the second technique.
Hi, how are you?
Remember the technique?
Come on. Come back to bed, come on.
Greg, you're not doing it properly. Remember, don't panic. You just be very quiet. You're like, shh, shh, you're doing all of this. Shh, shh, shh. You just take them and say, "It's bedtime, darling."
Okay.
And tuck them into bed, okay?
And then Jonathan started to call Mum's name from his bed. And that's when Mum's heart started to break.
But can we go over there and like soothe him, even though he's in his bed?
Do you think that anything you do will soothe him? What do you think will soothe him right now?
If I give him a hug,
Do you think that's enough? What does he want? What soothes him?
going to sleep in our bed.
Soothe him? And you walk out the room and he'll cry again. Because what he wants is in bed. He wants your bed.
Jonathan came out, Ryan came out. Mum went in, Dad went in, Mum came out, Dad went out. I mean, it went on for quite a while.
Mommy, I don't like my room. I want to sleep with Mommy.
They were crying, they were upset. It was definitely hard. I didn't think it would ever be over.
I don't want to sleep in my bed.
These parents did stick with the stay in bed technique and they took the child back into their bed. The boys were finally in their bed and quiet for the time being. But it was around 2 o'clock in the morning and we were all pretty exhausted. Mum and Dad had done extremely well, but it was time for me to leave to see how they'll do without me.
I'm leaving you for a couple of days. Everything you've been taught, I want to see you guys implement. Seriously, if you guys do not do it while I'm away, you're going to go back to square one. If you have them in this bed tonight, you're cheating them, you're cheating yourself.
This family are depleted, sleep deprived. So it's going to be even more important that when I leave, they continue to do this technique. It wouldn't surprise me if when that front door shuts, those kids hear it and they're running back in that bedroom.
See you in a couple of days. Give the kids a kiss for me when they wake up. You're welcome. I'll see you when I get back.
They do know full well what they need to do whilst I'm gone, starting from keeping those boys in bed tonight. The question is, will they have the willpower to do it? This family had a lot to work on in my absence, and I really do hope that they've been able to stick with the techniques that I left them.
Good morning.
Hello.
I didn't know what she may hone in on, what she might say.
Are we ready to take a look at the DVD? Yeah, sure. That didn't sound too enthusiastic.
Throw it right at us, whatever you have.
All right, let's take a look at this. Bedtime after I went, okay?
Yes.
See you in a couple of days. Give the kids a kiss for me when they wake up.
I'm not gonna It's fine.
What I see when I watch that is basically you guys recognising the importance of everybody getting sleep. Yes. The fact that you had the strength to put them back and hold faith in the technique that you know that you can do is what's going to give you the results. And already you're seeing them. So just keep on with that.
Everybody ready for the light to go off? 1, 2, 3.
It's been a very stressful day for this family.
Get back in your bed.
And bedtime was no different.
I need to go potty. I want to go potty.
The triplets didn't want to settle, and Naomi wanted a bandage.
I'm not gonna wrap it all up, but I'll put a loose bandage on.
But that, you won't put medicine on it.
It doesn't need medicine.
It'll stick.
Do you trust me?
No, I don't. I don't trust you. I'm never gonna trust you.
Do you know why she might feel that way?
I don't.
If I see you getting up, now you lie down too. Good night.
I'll go get you a Band-Aid, okay?
Yes, again, Naomi was browbeating her mum until she got her own way.
I can feel the medicine.
She rolls me. Eventually, I give in. Okay.
I win, I win, I win. I always win again.
I've had a full day in the Mann family household, and I feel that there are so many issues that need to be addressed in this family. They have given in to their children, and it's totally unhealthy, and it's not teaching their children anything.
Joe's here to assess the situation and take control of it and whip us into shape. That's scary. We're gonna get paddled.
Let's talk about bedtime. We could do with much work there. I can certainly teach you techniques to get them in their beds and staying in their beds as part of that sleeping process.
Great.
Got a lot on your plate. I understand that. It's hard work. I just need 2 parents that are on board to want to do that.
I'm on board.
We're on board.
All right, so we're in. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Next, it was time to tackle another problem together, bedtime.
Come on, Matt, let's get your cozy jammies on.
Bedtime's a nightmare in this house because the triplets and Naomi refuse to settle down.
I don't trust you.
Using a crib for a timeout is wrong. And the triplets have outgrown their cribs anyway. So I gave the children brand new beds and I put Nora and Madeline in one room and Naomi and Nathaniel in the other. Once you've put the kids to bed, hugs and kisses, and they've had their stories, I would like you to come out of their bedrooms and leave their door ajar and come downstairs. If they want you, what they will do is come out of the bedroom and come down to find you.
We'll see how it goes tonight.
This is your first night in your big bed.
And sure enough, separating the kids had an immediate effect because Madeline and Nora fell asleep straight away. The next job, however, was keeping Naomi and Nathaniel in their own bedroom.
Sorry, I'm turning the light off.
No, no, no. I don't like you.
Good
I
night.
don't like you. I don't like
Good night.
All the kids are in their bedrooms. If they come out, we start the stay in bed technique. Dad, you're going to start the first step if Naomi comes down, okay? You're going to just go, it's bedtime, darling, and place her back, okay?
Sit right here.
No, I'm gonna sit downstairs with
Okay.
Mommy.
I'm not going to sleep.
Lie down. Nathaniel. It's bedtime, sweetie.
Right, don't let her reel you in. You know Naomi does that. We don't want that. Never mind about Nathaniel. It's just when she comes out that you deal with her correctly.
It's time to go to bed.
But I really wanted to go to sleep.
It's time to go to bed, honey.
Okay, you're on your third, which is no communication. Just gently put her back into bed.
Daddy. Wait. You're bad, Daddy. You are.
Yet again, we are seeing Naomi give her parents a run for their money, and it's because she won't accept what they're saying. So she wants to be able to control it.
I hate you, Daddy.
What's the longest this has ever gone on for you?
Oh, probably about 4 hours.
You're mean. You are.
I'm hungry, I'm tired, there's monsters, I need something to drink, I need to go potty. You name it, we'll get every excuse in the book.
I haven't heard a thump yet.
We're at 2 hours.
Go on, Mark.
Go check
Go
it
and
out.
check. Victory, you guys have just done the
did it.
sleeping technique with 4 kids.
And they're in beds.
You should be really proud of yourselves.
You have helped
Can I
us.
tell you what the biggest
do
miracle
things.
has been tonight for me? Is I never got upset once.
It's amazing what you can do, right?
It feels really good not to need the spoon anymore.
Finally, it was time to deal with bedtime. Through observation, I found out that Lydia and Eddie have certainly suffered some horrific experiences when it comes to nighttime in Ghana.
Eddie will tell me the dark, the dark, the dark. In Ghana, bad things happened in the dark. They come through and set fire to their shacks and whatnot.
Up we go, darling. Come on. I wanted to teach Mum how to reassure all 4 of her kids that when it comes to bedtime, they're safe.
It's extremely important to me that I'm able to pull everything together while Chris is away because I don't want him to have to worry about what's going on at home while he's in a war zone.
These are lights, and they go into your bedroom, and they light up all pretty. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to set the ambience, okay? Mum would create this really warm, inviting ambience by closing the blinds and putting up some nice, colourful lights so that these kids wouldn't be scared of the dark.
Look, guys. All right, everybody needs to come sit next to Mommy. Our house, safe house, right?
I think the most important thing here is to set up and create a ritual to verbally reassure these kids just before they go to bed that they're perfectly safe.
When a monster comes, I want to get out of here.
Does Mommy keep you safe if the monsters try to come? Yeah, Mommy's gonna say, stop. You're not allowed.
Eddie was hearing what Mum was saying about no monsters coming in.
There's no monsters here.
And you could see that she made that little boy feel very, very safe. And that moment for me was something very beautiful.
All right, girls, climb into bed. Good night.
And now that these kids were tucked into bed soundly, the challenge would be keeping them in the beds. I gave Mum a wind chime to hang on the back of her door so that she wouldn't get anybody in her bed unannounced.
That'll wake me up.
But almost immediately, she had a visitor. Normally, I'd have a parent put a child back to bed with no communication. But we've got some real serious situations here, and so I've got to tweak the technique a little bit. I just want you to say to Elena, it's time for you to go to bed, darling.
Okay, it's time for you to go to bed, love. Let's go.
Come on. I wanted Becky to give the kids short, verbal reassurance and then put them straight back to bed.
Okay, good night, loves. I love you. Sleep well. Elena really tried the I need you, I miss Daddy, I need you.
Mom, I need you.
And I got to realize really quick that that's a ploy that she uses at bedtime.
Mom, I need you.
A little while later, both girls got out of bed. They had their lights on and they were making a right ruckus in that bedroom. I think it was really tough for Mum to be firm, especially with Lydia and Eddie.
Eddie and Lydia never had their own beds before they came to America. They had a family bed. So they're learning something completely new.
But even so, Mum followed through and she did a fantastic job.
It's time to go to bed. I told the girls no more lights, no more playing. It was time for sleep. Good night. I love you. Rest well so we can have fun tomorrow. And that was it. They were out. I couldn't believe how easy it was.
Tonight, we went out to eat. I was nervous, and I was anticipating the worst.
This is good. They're all at a restaurant.
Hey, sit down.
Sit down and eat your dinner.
Come on. Good boy.
Eat your half, Rylan. Eat your half.
You don't want any of it.
Well, let's see.
What's going on here with Rylan and his food?
One more bite. I'll trade you a bite for a drink.
Rylan's not eating his food, but Bryce is doing really, really well.
Well, you did awesome on your ribs. Thank you so much. It was very good.
Very good. And a peek at the dessert tray, perchance?
You want to do a dessert?
Are you kidding? You are looking to cause conflict in this restaurant. You and Brycey are gonna sit and eat something chocolate in there and leave Rylan out?
So Rylan's now setting the standard. Because he never ate, nobody can have dessert now.
If Rylan didn't eat his dinner, we all have to suffer.
This is crazy.
I don't know if dessert is called supper.
You go bye-bye? We're going bye-bye.
Go bye-bye.
Let's go bye-bye. Come on.
Oh, look. Putting Rylan to bed. Excellent.
I got this one.
Mom.
What's that noise? Is that a musical toy? What's going on there? My word, it's a light show going on in the bedroom.
Night-night.
Bryce, you've overstimulated Rylan now. Bryce, you're never getting your son to sleep now, I'll tell you that for nothing.
I'm gonna turn this off.
Mom.
What were you thinking? At least one of them's sleeping.
It's bedtime for Pooh, isn't it?
You're doing well. We're going to make that bed properly.
so it's all cosy. Tonight, Bryce put Rylan to bed, and it was a very special moment. He put Rylan into his crib. He sat on the floor, put his head down, and he waited for him to get out of the crib. But he didn't get out, not once.
I didn't think he would just go to bed within 25 minutes. That was amazing. Just feels awesome.
You guys, tell Daddy night-night. Go give him a hug. He knows her.
When I was observing the family through bedtime, John and Melora both went downstairs to put Ashlyn and Aliyah to bed, but the girls were having none of it.
Bedtime around our house is hard. Aliyah is calm at night, and Ashlyn is defiant.
No,
you don't, but you have to.
It'll be all right.
No.
Mommy lay with you.
No.
Ashlyn just threw a horrendous fit that I get in bed. So I gave in and I did go to bed.
Melora's trying just about everything to get those girls to sleep, but getting into bed with them is only going to make things worse.
It's been 4 days since I've got to spend time with my wife, and I feel like I'm single and, you know, nobody to share my time with in the evening.
Get your whole body.
But how does that make you feel inside, really, knowing that your two little girls are still up and your wife's exhausted laying on that bed?
It affects her and I enormously. It's hurting all of our lives as far as our marriage, and she'll go in there to lay down, she'll go to sleep, and 4 o'clock comes and I go to work, and, you know, all of a sudden it's Saturday again, and that's how the whole week will go by.
Daddy's tucking all 3 girls into bed instead of 2 girls and his wife.
Eventually, after time, Melora fell asleep on the girls' bed and they were still awake. So they moved on to Dad and they started asking for juice and everything else they could possibly think of.
Put 2 glasses of milk and turn up the heat, Dad.
It's going to be a long night, I think.
Sleep time is a big issue because there is no routine, and Melora, she sleeps in between the girls. When they fall asleep, Mum's already been asleep for an hour. When it's time to go to bed, tuck them in, hugs and kisses, and say goodnight.
Okay.
And then come out of the bedroom. If the children then come out of the bedroom, I want you then to say, "It's bedtime, darling." Bring them in by the hand, tuck them back into bed, and then go back outside again. So both say goodnight to the children and go back out.
Good night, Lila.
Good night.
I love you.
Good night, darling.
I'm going to tuck you in and give you a kiss, and it's over. It's nighttime.
No, taking off the I don't want to do night-night.
Lay down.
Bedtime would be wonderful if she can help us with that. It's tiring to do that every single night.
The first time you said goodnight, darling, it's time for bed. Okay?
Me.
Yeah? It's time for bed, darling.
No, Mommy, I want you to lay with me.
Come on, guys. It's time for bed.
I want you to lay with her. Mommy, lay with me. Lay with me. Lay with me. Lay with me. Okay, I'll come with you, okay? Mom, if you don't lay with us, Dad's going to.
Ignore that. The second time, when they come out, say, "It's bedtime."
My puppy. Mommy, I want you to lay with me.
It's bedtime.
Lay with me. Mommy.
The third time, you say nothing.
Lay with me. Lay with me.
Because she cannot believe you've been so consistent, and she's waiting to see when you'll give in. Keep yourself up, Lenore. And that door's left ajar, right? You could find yourself doing this 50 times.
I can see that.
Consistency, it's the key.
John and Melora must continue to ignore Ashlyn and keep putting her back into bed. This will eventually work, and Ashlyn will end up falling asleep.
I'm having a bad night and I won't ever do the door sleep. So you better just calm down.
Calm down, don't let it overwhelm you.
Keep calm. I think the toughest part for me was hearing Ashlyn crying for me to sleep with her. I felt like I was almost mistreating her. Honestly, I just wanted to go lay down with them. It's hard.
It's...
I must say one thing. You're not laying out in between them.
I know. I feel like it's working, don't you? I mean,
Yeah.
it's getting quieter. Do you notice that?
Uh-huh.
After 45 minutes, they were sound asleep and everything was well. And they did not get up in the night and they did not come to our room, which was really nice.
That's a big turn.
Yeah, it's huge.
Thank you.
We don't do this very often, do we?
I don't think we ever have.
No, it worked. I mean, the technique worked.
So you've done well.
It's great.
You've done well.
It's a major milestone.
It's huge.
Talk about bedtime.
It's chaos.
Bedtime's ludicrous.
There is no bedtime.
Mum and Dad got the kids bathed and dressed and ready for bed, but by then it was 8:30. I mean, most 2- and 4-year-olds would have been soundly asleep by then, but not these boys. It was showtime.
Look what Dad's putting in, guys.
Come on, football movie's on.
Bedtime at our house is non-existent. The kids just fall asleep wherever and whenever.
Mum explained to me that bedtimes are pretty much predictable in this house.
We'll let them sit down out here and fall asleep, and then transfer them to their bedroom. And what would you say, around 4 or 5,
Yeah.
3, they get up and come in our bed. So one of us will come out here or in the boys' bed.
You're having a laugh. Musical beds.
It won't work.
After a little bit, I did see Mum try to put Brenna to bed,
Good night, Bina.
but she was determined to have none of it.
But you're not sitting down out here, Brenna.
Brenna, go to bed.
Mommy, where's that gonna be?
Get into bed, and I mean it.
And in the meantime, the boys couldn't sit still, they were restless and overtired.
You want me to put you in your bedroom and lock the door? Because that's where you're gonna go.
Brandon, do not bite me. That's not even funny. Don't do it.
Well, what time is it?
Whenever they
We
fall
don't
asleep.
have a scheduled bedtime. I know they're not getting enough sleep, and I think that's why they're so like crabby in the morning, because they don't get to bed on time.
I think it's why you're crabby in the morning. I think it's why you've docked out. These kids have got dark marks underneath their eyes. So yeah, they're going to be grouchy, and yeah, they're going to be irritable, and they're not going to focus and concentrate as much. And then cheeky Brandon saw an opportunity to add to the mischief.
They normally don't even go in her room, but tonight, I don't know why, they just want to go in there and just to harass, just to keep going all night long.
Come 10 o'clock, finally, all the kids had fallen asleep. We will be having a family meeting where we can talk about a lot of issues that do need to be addressed, so we can start to create some equilibrium in this house.
Okay.
All right, so.
Sounds good.
I am kind of nervous of what she's gonna say to me and my wife.
I'll see myself out and I'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you.
See ya.
I don't know quite exactly how she took everything in and what she's going to tell us.
I don't believe I'm going to be telling them anything they don't know. But how they handle the truth is yet to be seen. Good night.
Good night.
Night,
Tomorrow.
And then
Thank you.
bedtime. I'd like to see Wendy be able to put them into bed and be able to come out and let them fall asleep on their own.
Mom.
And then between 12 and 2 a.m., they make their way to our bedroom.
Now that we have our twins, it's hard to get any quality sleep at all. It's an hour past your bedtime, buddy.
I tend to baby the kids.
I'm just gonna move your bed right into their room.
Don't put your pirate pajamas on.
You could say that I'm a little anxious about it, but we really need our bed back and our sleep back.
These lights off, Mum.
I knew that if Wendy understood the importance of the boys sleeping in their own beds, then she just might pull herself away, and it would make bedtime a lot easier.
I want you, Mommy.
If they really want you now, okay, what they're going to do is they're going to come out. You're then going to do the stay in bed technique, which is to take them back into their bed and say, it's bedtime, darling. The second time they come out, you say bedtime and you put them back in. And the third time you say nothing and you take them straight back into their bed. Okay, so that they're not rewarded with communication, because there has to be a cut-off limit, you know. Bedtime is bedtime now.
It's you.
So remember, no conversation, okay? What's the first thing we say? Bedtime, darling. Bedtime, darling. Okay.
Can you sit here with me? Sit here, sit here.
So this is what's going on right now. They're in their beds and they're used to calling all the time and you going in.
Wendy was strong, and she simply led them straight back to bed. And even though they cried, within 20 minutes they were fast asleep. The question remains, however, will they get up and go into their mum and dad's bed? So I curled up on the couch to find out.
Come here. Good night. Are you sure can I get you anything? I'm fine. It's like nanny stakeout. I'll see. Good night.
When I went to bed, I was dreading the whole process because I knew that, you know, this was going to be like cold turkey for them. You know, I knew that they were going to have to actually sleep in their beds the whole night.
I want you, Mommy.
Sure enough, Leo and Bo got up and headed to their mum and dad's bedroom. However, as tough as it was for Wendy, she led them straight back into their bedrooms. So it was a major victory for this family.
I don't want anything.
You know, it was hard for me. It was really hard for me, to be honest. I had to change my ways and do it. And it was for the best. And I'm glad I did it.
It's the first time in a long time they've slept in their own beds.
I know. Yeah, I think they're gonna sleep better too. The last time Dan and I slept alone, I can't even remember, to be honest with you.
This is Aiden, our 2.5-year-old.
Hello, Aiden. Who's this?
This is Jacob.
Pleased to meet you. How old are you? 9. Hi, Brody. I'm Jojo. How are you? With Dad at work during the day, I asked Mum if I could take a look around the house, and I came across a room that had a pile of washing on it. Whose room is that?
That's Aiden, but he don't sleep in there.
He doesn't? Oh, where does Aiden sleep then?
He sleeps with my mum and daddy.
You have your mum and daddy, huh? Saw Aiden's bedroom. Does he sleep in that bed?
No.
Because there's all clothes on it, and Jacob said that he doesn't. He sleeps with you guys.
Yeah.
Is that what you choose to do?
She does.
I've slept with him since he was a baby, and just smelling him and feeling him. I don't know, it's just kind of like my security blanket.
You totally disagree. You don't want the co-sleeping, no?
No, ma'am.
No? And your reasons for that?
I can't sleep. And that's his room. It was built for him.
Aiden sleeps in mum and dad's bed and not his own bed at the age of 2.5. It's not really allowing him, is it, to get used to self-soothing and being in his own room. I mean, that's a life skill that you eventually need to learn.
I just don't know if I'm ready for it.
Are you saying emotionally you don't know if you're ready?
He's my last one.
We don't know
It's
yet.
got you all emotional. Let's talk about bedtime. We have a bedroom upstairs for Aiden that's not being used because one of you, Amy, you're clinging on to Aiden for the wrong reason. Emotionally, that fills a hole for you that feels good. It pacifies you. It feeds you emotionally, Amy. I get it. But there's no reason why you can't have that closeness with him and cuddles and snuggle up with him during the day. You have those little moments if you create time to have them. Okay. I realise that Mum's had a long, hard day, but she is going to have to muster up some more energy because Aiden needs to sleep in his bed on his own. We went straight into the sleep separation technique, which is to place your child into bed without talking to them every time they get out of bed, with you remaining in the room. Okay, Amy? Amy? You can do this. Do you hear me? You can do this. If he gets out, you put him back into the bed and you keep quiet, all right? It was tough. It was tough for Amy.
I knew it was great for her to be there to help me, but I just really wasn't ready to do it.
Every time he called her name, you could see she was just praying that she would find the strength to be able to follow through. She was very close to breaking.
Halfway there. Because it's about you growing that emotional muscle and giving him what he needs.
I got kind of worried, wondering if it was good for him, just crying and screaming in his bed. I was really concerned with Amy, too. I knew it was tearing her heart out.
I think it took Aiden about an hour, but he did finally go to sleep, and so that was kind of rewarding.
Who put Aiden to bed tonight? Me. Sorry.
Me.
I'm very proud of Amy for sticking to the bed technique.
We've just crossed a milestone for you.
Mm-hmm.
You did good, girl.
Putting Aiden in his own bed was by far the hardest thing that she's put into place.
That was tough.
I know. You couldn't have done it.
Probably not.
All right, get ready to cuddle, because I got to have somebody.
In your room. So it's gone 8 o'clock, the kids are riled up, and Mum decides that she's going to put the kids to bed. Good luck.
So 5, 4. You're gonna be sorry if I get to 1.
Bedtime in my house. Kayla and Erica sleep in their beds. They're very good about that.
Get up in the bed.
Tori and Tommy will not go in their room. They will not sleep in their beds. They sleep in my bed every night.
Stop. Stop.
These parents have not taken into consideration the importance of the children sleeping in their own bedrooms, let alone in their own beds.
It is time to go to bed.
No, the bed.
Ow!
It usually lasts for about an hour to an hour and a half that I have to keep telling them to lay down and go to sleep.
It is time to go to bed.
It was getting late, and I'd seen all I needed to see. It was time to go. Tomorrow morning, family meeting.
Okay.
Okay, so we can deal with all of this.
Okay.
All right, I'm gonna let you go and do that. Okay, good night.
I need my bed back. I need to get my sleep. And I think that they need to get their sleep too.
It's just ridiculous, it really is. I can't wait to get in here tomorrow morning to start and change stuff for this lady. And then we go into bedtime. Let's get real here. These kids need to be sleeping in their own beds. Especially for Tommy, this is something he's getting used to. He kept climbing out of his crib. As you have got him a little bed, then that's what he needs to learn to sleep in. You know, it's all about him recognising it's his bed, in his room. After bath time, the next step was to teach Mum how to get Tommy to sleep in his own bedroom. Once you've read him a book, we're gonna place him into his bed, okay, and we're gonna sit on a little chair adjacent to his bed, all right? And you're just gonna turn away so you're not actually looking at him.
Okay.
All right? If he gets out of his bed, I want you to place him back into his bed.
Okay.
Okay? And I want you to keep putting him back into his bed until he stays in his bed.
Okay.
Okay? I don't think Tommy is going to go down quietly, but at the same time, it's going to allow him to realise the importance of sleeping in his own bed.
Oh, look, and now they're cleaning the dish.
I wasn't nervous. I was, oh, how long is it gonna take? And am I gonna be strong enough to keep putting him back in the bed?
Mommy.
The book is over. And it's time for Tommy to go night-night.
No, I want the book. No,
No, we don't need to put it in Tori's room. No, that stays Tommy's room. It's time for Tommy to go night-night. Turn the light off. Time to shut the light off.
Turn the light off.
Turn the light off. You're going to sit on the chair, and when he gets out of his bed, you're just going to say nothing but place him back into his bed.
Because Tommy's never slept in his bedroom before, it was important for me to use the sleep separation technique so that he would feel secure with her still being in the room.
Turn around that way. Okay, when he gets out of his bed, you place him back into his bed.
You know, it was a little bit difficult for me to not be able to look at him or say, you know, it's time to go to bed.
You've got to keep going, because he's fighting you in that bed.
Good job. You did a great job. I'm so sorry. This is what you have to go through every night. I feel so bad for you.
She looked pretty good when she came down the stairs. She didn't look as stressed as, you know, we usually would have been.
You're a bloody trooper, girl.
Routine will follow into bedtime. And now what we're seeing is the kids get up in the middle of the night to go into their mum and dad's bedroom.
So what time do the kids normally go to bed?
8.
Yeah,
We try for 8.
that's their bedtime.
Try for 8.
We call it a soft date.
A soft date. So then, what time would you say early hours in the morning you have company?
2 or 3.
2 or 3. So 2 or 3, you feel a foot in your face.
Oh yeah.
There you go.
I've been kicked in the head so many times in the middle of the night. Oh boy.
It's tough enough when you're getting up in the middle of the night because you've got babies who constantly need to feed. But now mum and dad have got boys who are jumping into their bed as well. This family need to sleep.
Bedtime, boys. Bedtime.
Time to go to bed.
To your bed. You know what? I can't find your pacifier because it's not where we asked you to leave it today. Do you know where one of your pacifiers is?
First, mum and dad had to hunt high and low for Beau's pacifier, something I think a 3-year-old shouldn't have anyway.
This is working out great.
Dan, this is very odd. I don't see them.
So if you don't remember where the passy is, that's it. You're out here hunting.
Yeah, it's pretty much, it's come to this before.
I know. I know that you want Passy. I know that.
Found one. Ah, the Achilles heel of bedtime.
Once Beau got his pacifier, he went straight off to sleep. But then I saw Leo demanding more time for mum. And let's face it, we've still got 2 babies to deal with.
You must chill. Okay?
I'll be back soon to check on you.
Wendy feels really guilty about leaving Leo alone, so she engages him. What she must do is set limits, leave the room, and not allow Leo to make her feel so bad.
I love you. One more kiss. One more kiss.
We can only hope for him to just finally, you know, fall off into oblivion.
Mommy, come here. You're taking a long time.
I have my hands full with so many children that it's like I don't have time for all my children at once. You know, I have to pick.
So we have a family here that have got no routine, little discipline, and not much sleep. So I'm going to head off for the night and make sure that I come back with a good plan for mum and dad. Before I went home for the night, I wanted to tackle Beau's attachment with his pacifier. There's no need for him to have a pacifier. He has a blankie, and it's an emotional crutch, really, for him.
This is going to be heartbreaking for me, I have to tell you. When she said that we're going to have to, break the habit of the pacifier, I had no idea what she was going to do.
Beau, this envelope came from somebody very special, and her name is Penelope, the Passy Fairy.
okay? And when she sees that there are boys in the house that are very big boys and they have passies, what she does is that she asks them, okay, to put their passies into the very special envelope and to post it so that she could give them to babies that would need them.
No.
And he kind of looked at me and I thought to myself, is he going to do this or not? I didn't know whether he was really going to pick up those passies. Look at you, Penelope's going to be so pleased. Seal that down nice and tightly. I was really excited that he was just really engulfed in this whole story. You're going to put it in the mailbox?
When he took those pacifiers to the mailbox, I just felt very proud of him. He's growing up when he does that.
It felt like we were in a storybook. And it's in the morning, you're going to go to the mailbox and you're going to get at your very special own envelope.
You know, it just goes to show you when you're really confident and you can bring a touch of magic into the situation, that they actually take that in their own stride and know that everything must be okay then.
Place it back in. Ready? 1, 2, 3, go!
Hello. When I arrived the next day, I was curious to see how Beau had slept without his pacifier, so I asked Mum.
How was he last night? Great. Yeah. Well, he mentioned it once, and he had a sad face, but then he went to bed. It was like,
Look at that.
Yeah.
Beau, have you been outside? Beau, Penelope, the fairy's been here. Come have a look. And he went outside and he saw all the feathers and the glitter. He's like, oh, the fairies.
And then she was in the
Oh my gosh.
And when he opened up the mailbox and saw that parcel, his little face, he was so excited that he'd been left something.
Here, I'll help you with this.
animals.
There, you can go.
Wow.
Animal.
The fact that Joe was able to get him to part with those pacifiers, I bowed down to Joe. I was pretty surprised that she was able to do it.
The problem Shannon and Sean are facing is because these kids don't go to sleep until 10 o'clock. What kind of an evening do Mum and Dad get? All right, so both come over here because we are going to do bedtime. This is what we do want to do. Take the kids through the paces of pyjamas, teeth brushing, potty, reading stories, and so to bed. Tonight, they're going into their own bed straight away.
The most stressful part for me is bedtime.
All right, guys.
It just kind of puts like a wedge between me and Shannon.
I mentioned to Mum and Dad that the best strategy here at this point is divide and conquer. Have Mum put Brenna to bed and Dad the boys. The parents have to make that choice in creating the transition between day and night.
Can I have kisses?
I'm gonna be back, Mom.
I love you guys. Good night.
Mum and Dad got the kids off to bed, but when they did so, the kids started to get up and run around, so I gave them a technique to help with this. This is what we're gonna do. Brenna, okay, sleep separation technique. The sleep separation technique is to put your child into bed, to stay by the corner of the bedside, and to continuously put your child into bed without talking to them, and then move yourself further and further away until you're outside the bedroom. So we ready for this?
Yeah.
Right, let's go.
Get into bed. It is bedtime.
The kids were sneaking up and down, and it really was a case of Mum and Dad having to stick with these techniques to make them work.
Leave this light off, or I am going to take the video game away.
Take the video game away. Shannon got Brenna off to bed really, really quickly, which was fantastic. And then it left her time to then help Sean with the boys.
He's laughing. He's just...
She was a major support for Sean when he was putting the boys down.
Me and Shannon didn't give up. We just kept doing it, and eventually they just gave up and fell asleep.